Peace, family. We're back with some bonus drop. Your boy FONZi Neutron, back.online.com. Joined with T-Juda. We're looking at things hip hop. We definitely want to say thoughts and prayers to everybody out there in the world afflicted by any conflict and drama at this moment in time. The world in a crazy place, but we continue to move forward positively, I should say. So, one of the things I wanted to touch on, Hassan Campbell, famous YouTube sensation, has reportedly, some say he was shot during a episode that he broadcasted to YouTube. So we kind of want to look at just the whole nature of this, YouTube, with people going online speaking about drama. Some people think it's been more detrimental to the black community, a lot of this podcast and this stuff. So T-Juda, we got on the line. We're gonna just be going over a few of these
Oh,
things.
crazy.
All praises due, man. What's good with you, fam?
Hey, we back. We back. Another chapter of episode.
Yes, sir. We appreciate everybody tapping with us on Spreaker, also live 365 radio, YouTube, and back.online.com. So, I mean, Hassan Campbell, some of you guys might be familiar with him, also known as Poppy. He does a lot of broadcasting on YouTube. Has been quite a controversial commentator just on things happening within hip hop and the community. Known for saying such and such got their snapbox rocked. You know, for,
Yeah, the Cameron character, man. And if that is true, I'm not saying he deserved that, man. But at the same time, sometimes the universe, man, can try to wake us up, man, because that dude, man, he got to realize, man, like that area over there, you got to look at it like there's people over there. You know what I'm saying, with the low income area, not no disrespect to it as on low income, but do the math.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no, definitely. They say he was out in the Bronx. Now the thing is not to make light of this situation. If it did happen, some people feel as though it could be a hoax or some kind of setup. So, I mean, that's one thing that we can explore just with the popularity of people nowadays on the internet and that kind of desperacy or need to always be in the people's conversation. I mean, my thing with this guy is I wasn't really familiar with him prior. I heard about the Africa Bambaataa allegations from somebody else. Then I started to see some of his interviews speaking on Africa Bambaataa. And, initially I did empathize and stuff with him as I would with anybody if they had went through such a horrific circumstance and situation. He started broadcasting a lot more, being a commentator around hip hop and the community. And the thing is, it's always a difficult one when you place yourself in a position to say, I'm going to be one of those people that's going to be speaking out against the community, because people then start looking at your character and how you present yourself. So my thing then was, I always thought he presented himself a bit too vulgar. Now some may use an excuse and say because of what he'd been through, but my whole thing is, if you want people to listen to you, not just get an audience, but want people to actually listen to you, you have to present yourself a certain way. And I think the time for vulgarity and all that stuff when you're presenting information is sort of out the window. It's got to feed to a particular type of audience, but I don't think respectable people and other people that you may want to potentially reach with your story, it's gonna reach. So I say all that to say, like you said, if he's just aiming at like the ghetto audience and what's going on in the streets and worrying about who sees who is the toughest and who sees who as being macho and a killer and all this stuff, and he feeds into a lot of that kind of mindset and negativity. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I know, man. You got a lot of pride. That's a problem in the world today. A lot of people got pride and ego driven, man. So yeah, I agree, man. It's just at the end of the day, the world we live in, the times we live in, that's what the scripture says. And I'm still, learning a lot of things too. I don't know everything, just like none of us do. But it says that many hearts will wax cold and many will become lovers of themselves. So yeah, the math, if we do that math, it makes sense. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, it's just that, wow, most people want a low vibration, man. And most common people, man, they just don't think like a lot of people that's conscious. You know what I'm saying? Some people just, totally in the matrix.
Yeah, that's some good points. I mean, one thing you said there that definitely struck a chord. You said a lot of people have, a level of love for themselves, and this has been, I guess, a charge that's been laid upon a lot of these YouTubers, and not just YouTubers, broadcasters, artists, athletes, entertainers, a lot of people who are seen in the public eye, and people feel as though nowadays there's more of an emphasis on people wanting to be, worshipped, wanting to be looked at as their, something special or unique, or things of that nature, and pushing themselves really to the forefront. Do you think that could be said for a lot of these YouTubers who are like, continuously going in live, getting involved in everybody's dramas and sagas and stuff, or do you think it's just a part of how they're presenting themselves?
Yeah, it could be a combination of both. I mean, I can't say all YouTubers think like this, but the mindset is some people, yeah, just like in general public, some people, man, they got their egos, man, and some people are just caught up on themselves, and yeah. So yeah, the world do have the earth do have a balance system, and every day we go out in the world, look how most people act. Just the attitudes of most people. You can see it, you can feel it. So definitely,
Yeah.
yeah, it's on both sides, really.
I mean, we seen this alleged video of Hassan Campbell. Some say it would show he went out into the neighborhood, and how it started was he was ranting and raving about the situation with Cassie and Diddy, which we heard that Cassie had laid in some allegations and filed a lawsuit against Diddy, which was quickly settled in what some people are saying was one of the quickest settlements they've ever heard about, and Hassan Campbell, he took to social media and he was upset because he was saying now everybody cares about Cassie, nobody cares about him and what he's been through, and seemingly went into an aberrant rant, ranting and raving in the middle of the streets, being out in. I mean, I'm asking you as even as a man and as a as a black man as well. Do you think that's the right type of not just attitude, but way to present yourself, like being out there
I
in the streets in the
had
community,
got
ranting
to
and
check
raving?
one time. I need the shock technique. Oh, we're sorry about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was asking you, bro, about him being out in the streets, ranting and raving, talking about he runs the streets, he'll kill anybody. I mean, what do you think of that kind of display?
Yeah. I kind of missed the question because I'm sorry. I just kind of stepped in this place here. Can you repeat that?
Yeah, yeah, I was saying in the clip we seen him in his neighborhood, or he's ranting and raving. His filming this on camera, but he's talking about what he would do to anybody. He would stab somebody's mother. He would do he was talking a whole
He
lot
said
of
that.
aberrant
Sanka
stuff.
Sam said that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh man, yeah. I mean that energy. Yeah, think about it, man. The energy he put out. I mean, yeah. Sometimes that guy, I get it. Sometimes people have psychological issues. We all get caught up in. We don't know we don't really know what he's really going through. But I mean, we have to be careful how we move out here, man. We just gotta just be, smart. We can't let people push us to the point where we start to play their game for
Yep.
too long. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, just that's what happens when you're dealing with low vibrational people, man. It will trick you, and we gotta be careful.
Yeah, I mean, we have heard, as we said, different thoughts on it, guys. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. If you're joining us on Spreaker, you can leave a comment. Join us on YouTube. You already know the drill. And I mean, some people have speculated they feel it's fake. They say it was presented as a live video, but it had jump scenes in there. They say when people was allegedly throwing the bottles, usually if that was the case, somebody may have turned the camera to that direction to to actually show where they were supposedly coming from. You couldn't really hear much of a backwards or forwards with anybody on the balcony, as you would expect if it was somebody from up there throwing stuff down. So
Mhm.
it's a very strange video, but to me, what's concerning, like I said, the most is the fact that whether it was fabricated or not, the fact that he's out there in his community, or a community that ranting and raving like that, just putting out that type of energy out there, I think it's very counterproductive, especially if it's supposed to have progressed past that already.
Yeah, I agree, man. Especially in that environment, we know that area over there is real, it's violent over there. So just to be over there entertaining that, entertaining low vibrational people, period. So sometimes, man, we get it. People, human beings, emotions, and ego, pride driven. So yeah, we can't let low vibrational people push us to that extent. And I know that the times we're living in, that the energy is bad out here. And so, man, yeah, he got to just try to just yeah, that's if it's. I don't know why would somebody at his age, a man is what almost 50 years old. Why would he want to stage something like this? But people do things,
Yeah,
in all kind of age groups. And so,
that's
yeah,
very
I just
that's
hope
very
that
well
he
said.
learns from this.
Yeah, no, that's very well said, man. And it's a shame because, as you said, you mentioned the age, and some people say, the older you get, the more wise and mature you often become, or the more you should become. And we're not here taking pop shots at him, but even the type of he seems like he's stuck in a certain kind of frequency, just on that whole street vibration and stuff. I mean, he has lent his voice in the past to speak about things that he's particularly found disparaging, but he seems as though he has a lot of that mindset. If it's not what he thinks, he's gonna drag it, and he takes a stance of, like, victim. He plays the victim quite a bit, so it's quite an interesting one. I mean, obviously, we'll hear how this situation unfolds and develops. I'm sure if there's any more to it. A lot of people have chimed in, including Terrence Gangster Williams, who said the same. Like, why go out there on the streets and sort of pick trouble in a sense, and that there's nothing to prove to, like, these youngsters or to anybody if it was true. A lot of times people feel that they have something to prove. We've explored that aspect of how people feel within the streets and that sort of paradigm. But I'm going to ask you this, like, when we're looking at these YouTubers nowadays, we see a lot of stuff on
Yeah.
relationships. We see a lot of stuff on hip hop. We see a lot of stuff on people, just using their voice for social commentary. Do you feel that this whole YouTube culture has had somewhat of a negative impact upon some of these black people who have come from, like, a street background and now have got access to this technology
Definitely,
and able to put
definitely,
their voice out there?
definitely, man. We know that a lot of people can be used. A lot of things get infiltrated. And that's been exposed a long time ago with a lot of groups. They use people to push their agendas, and a lot of these YouTubers are bought and paid for it. They can easily go on there. We think you can do the math on that. So yeah, man, a lot of society is just corrupt, man. But you got people that's just well organized, the powers, and they can use people in any community, especially if they not used to, having certain things, and they can say, hey, come bribe them. Bribery has been popular in this society, especially in Western society. So yeah, but I think that you exposing this, man, is real, man. This is content. What I mean, this is freedom of speech here, freedom of the press. So yeah. And the truth hurts a lot of people too. So some people want to act like it don't exist, but it's going to get them in the end because by them want to hush us to go along and get along. At the same time, while they communities being wiped out, you ask me, that's a coward right there. You know what I mean? So and that's just the reality of it. But you definitely made some good points on that.
Yeah, no, I hear where you're coming from. I think as well with just the aspect of how I guess I don't want to say the negativity has been transposed. I feel as though when it comes to certain types of topics, and we broadcast quite a lot about that online and our other mediums, but as sad as it sort of is, from my perspective, it seems like people gravitate towards the drama, the negativity, and so maybe that's why some of these guys like Hassan Campbell, they present themselves in a certain way because they know, let's be quite honest, for a lot of these guys, clicks include ratings, and not just ratings but money. I mean, to me personally, if you're that crazy, or you feel as though your life's threatened in a certain way, or even if you're threatening somebody, and you're gonna set up a camera, and whether it's live streaming or whether it's already pre-recorded, sort of stand around emphasizing, talking to the camera, capturing all that sort of stuff and putting it out there to the world, I think that's very counterproductive. I don't think it's so I get a lot of strange feelings about some of this stuff when I see what some of these people do online. And I know it's the internet, you can't really change it nowadays, the stage that we're in, and people will go to different stages than others. But from your perspective, I mean, do you feel as though people are gravitating more towards the goofiness and the drama and the negativity and that sort of stuff, or do you think there's a bit of a balance?
Oh yeah, in the West, man, this country, a lot of people they gravitate toward ignorance because that's the society we live in, and most people on low vibration. So um, some people cower down to it, but yeah, definitely, man. Any conscious person can see that some people they don't want peace. They like drama and violence. That's how they get off. But the ignorance is that's what's going to consume a lot of them because most people, you talk about low vibrations, and yeah, man. For him to live stream that, maybe he's just seeking attention. You know what I'm saying? So, he if he was really some people want ratings, views, and yeah, drama sells, unfortunately, man, and that's what a lot of people want. They want to promote that, but unfortunately, man, hopefully the man, that didn't happen. I
Well,
mean,
you know,
but I don't think this is reality TV. If
yeah,
that's
I
what he's
mean,
thinking.
controversy definitely creates cash. And in terms of the live stream, there's been a lot of speculation because some people say it was a pre-recorded video, perhaps then rebroadcasted through a different alternative medium like a
Oh,
StreamYard or something. So when you do that, it can appear to the public on YouTube as though the video is coming in live, although it's something that's been pre-taped. And one of the reasons some people suggest this is there's a break point in the video where it stops and then the video picks back up and is somewhere else in the car. And if it was actually live, you couldn't do that. It would be a recurring stream. It wouldn't take an actual pause and cut to a different scene because it would be a live thing that's actually happening. So there's speculation that people feel as though it was pre-recorded and pre-taped. Whether the shooting incident did actually happen under taping or not, or whether some have speculated it was staged, it's definitely unfortunate. And I feel as though for somebody who has such a reach and has purported himself to be a big voice within the black community or the hip hop community, even if it's just on an online level, I think it's very disappointing to see him continuously act this type of way, because when people around the world they see black YouTubers and stuff, and not saying I expect everybody to be on one way, and but they're gonna come across these guys with these big platforms and channels and stuff, but all they're gonna see is ignorance and belligerence and stuff. I think it does a huge disservice to the rest of the community.
yeah, man. I think especially in the black community, so-called black community. But I think that people need to just separate themselves from the ignorance, separate themselves from a lot of things they've been trained and taught over the years, because it's not really going to benefit us. Because as you can see, man, like a downward spiral of a lot of aspects of society. But as a people, and that goes for a lot of cultures too. Most cultures, when they come and get into Western culture, you see like how they tend to forget about their roots, and I think that most cultures need to turn back to that. So about you coming on and broadcasting this, I think that's real important because we need more of that. You know what I'm saying, for cultures to turn back to their culture. Because when you start to take on somebody else's culture, you decide your culture, then that's just like genocide, basically. You know what I'm saying? So, and I stand on that.
Yeah, no, I mean culture's important, and that's why I think with some of these guys now we've kind of seen a toxic culture form, not just within the hip hop community, but definitely within this online community. Some people blame big platforms like Vlad for sort of stirring things up and creating this online world of backwards and forwards drama. Some even go further back and say it was like, some of the guys who was putting out like those beef DVDs and stuff. So I know sometimes as a journalist, it can be very polarizing. Some may see some things as a positive, some may see some things as a negative. One thing we don't want to do is suppress any beings, because, we work hard and speak up very candidly about suppression of beings just on Earth. So we don't want to be like pigeonholing anybody, but at the same time, I think there needs to be more maybe measures in place to just protect people, because you got a lot of vulnerable people in the world, and if they're listening to some of these types of individuals for somebody that they think is going to potentially lead them in the right direction, or has a plan for them to move forward in life positively, or is like a mentor or something, I think they could be doing themselves a huge disservice, and especially if these platforms
Mm-hmm.
allow some of these individuals to continue to spew a certain type of rhetoric.
Yeah, I agree, man. Yeah, definitely, man. Foolishness is just, it's a lot of foolishness out here, man. Yeah, man. Man, just the society itself, man. But yeah, man, a lot of YouTube toxic culture definitely is toxic, man, because some people, they'll say anything to try to get views, and that's what they don't understand. They don't get it that, saying that will come back around and circulate and pushing the false narrative. They don't realize how much damage they can do. But I'm glad we got people that counterattack that, like yourself and others too. It's got to be like that. Life has a balance. And yeah, we get it, man. Was spiritual war going on? So but yeah, we gotta let people know. Don't believe everything you hear nor see.
Right, that's dope, and I think that's a good note for us to wind down on this one. We don't want to spend too much time, obviously, focusing on the situation, but more so using it as
Mm-hmm.
an axiom to build around things that are affecting the community and wider on a global level. So, guys, let us know your thoughts in the comments. If you're joining us on Spreaker, you can leave comments, and also YouTube. You already know the drill. We appreciate anybody who listens in to the very end. Your boy FONZi Neutron representing BackThatOnline.com. T-Juda dropping the medicine. We are on
Yeah.
this one. Peace.